I'm Karina Fernandez, the GM for Emerging Digital Technologies at Shell. I'm based out of Amsterdam at our Energy Transition Campus. Shell, especially Shell Rhineland Chemicals and Energy Park, is one of the key sponsors of the event this year, and I'm very happy to be here with the Shell delegation to support. Today, we are servicing 1 million commercial and industrial customers, and on a daily basis, we meet with 33 million retail customers at the 47,000 Shell-branded retail sites all over the world. And we understand how important the energy transition journey is to them, and hence we want to continue to be the energy provider of choice. So it's important to us as well, right? So in that sense, Shell continues on its Powering Progress strategy with its ambition to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. And in my presentation, I was talking about multiple ways where digital, together with physical technologies, is helping to actually be a lever in driving towards a more sustainable future. Also, according to the World Economic Forum, right, digital solutions has the potential of addressing sustainability challenges for up to 20%. So this is really quite a significant lever to pull, and myself being a mother of 4, really having also a personal motivation on doing the right thing. I'm very proud to be working in an organization that takes this future outlook and sees its role in the energy transition and is doing something, is walking the talk in that sense. So then in my presentation today, I was picking out a number of digital innovation where we are helping with regards to emissions. One of it is that I called out where we had done proof of concept with the GHG set, especially with regards to methane leaks monitoring and management. As you know, methane as a greenhouse gas is 28 times having a greater global warming potential as compared to carbon dioxide in a 100 years timescale. And then in a 20-year timescale, it is 85% more potent. So it's definitely one of the greenhouse gases that especially our industry need to get a hold on. And looking at ways to stay on top of your methane emissions, whether it is on a 24/7 continuous monitoring with cameras where machine vision technology helps a lot in that sense, or whether it is driving periodic surveys to compare, or where you are using this, for example, with GHG set, right? Using satellite images to quickly capture big leaks. We have still ways to go, so we have had initial success with the technology, but of course the next thing is to then go and deploy it at more sites. Because specifically with regards to methane emissions, we want to pivot from a more of a qualified or qualification, so reporting based on emission factors, but we want to actually quantify it because we want to reach our target of less than 0.2% emissions with regards to methane to also achieve our net zero ambitions. That's that example. Another example that I spoke about was with regards to where many times in the energy transition, as you are trying to put forward a new energy offering, you tend to hit this chicken and egg situation, right? And of course, if you look back, sometimes unlocking that situation takes time. But do we have that time? Because in the energy transition, I almost feel that we are in the race of our generation and really needs to be a team sport. And so the other example I spoke about was with regards to sustainable aviation fuels, where with blockchain and Web3 technology, together with our aviation business, we had created a book and claim system. Right? Because again, the aviation industry is one that's going to be very difficult to abate, right? They also have a 2050 target, right? And by 2050, they are anticipating to be able to service 10 billion passengers. All of us still most of us have to still travel for work, but also in terms of shipment of goods, cargo. So having to accommodate 10 billion passengers means that they will have to be prepared to abate 1.8 gigatons of carbon by 2050, which will also mean that they will need 360 million tons of sustainable aviation fuel to be supplied into the airline industry. And today, based on whatever stock there is of sustainable aviation fuel, which is not enough, even the stock there is there, the uptake from airlines and airports is still very low. Why? It's because really, like I said, where you have this chicken and egg situation, one of the reasons is also because those markets are not yet regulated. So what are you trying to work with? You're trying to work with a voluntary market. So, in fact, what the business did recognize on the digital side is that this blockchain and Web3 platform called Avilia, which was a collaboration, again with the theme of today about partnerships and collaboration to drive evolution in the industry. It was a collaboration with Accenture, American Express, Global Business Travel, Cathay Pacific, and Energy Web Foundation to put forward this platform, because what it started to do is, based on everything we know now, before the market is regulated, what do we expect are going to be these environmental attributes to be captured? Capture them now, right? And then allocate these environmental attributes through certificates to those parties, for example, Accenture for business travel, who's investing already now to do the right thing in sustainable aviation fuel, although it's a premium. But what that has been able to help then is create the right demand signals, right? Because then for an operator like Shell, who can produce sustainable aviation fuel, we can only produce it more if there's more demand. So a digital platform has helped multiple parties in the industry to come together. And yeah, we know why the reason we use blockchains, and especially in this case, public blockchains, is also to ensure that there is no doubt on the transparency of the traceability of the solution we're putting forward. So with the use of public blockchains and this book and claim system, on one hand, with the initial customers who are now further incentivized to take the right step earlier and increase the demand. On one hand, we help break open the chicken and egg situation, and then it just helps the overall economics of things, because then you have a clearer demand signal, so you can also plan on how you are going to scale up and productions, and eventually, typical with how all these things go, if there's more production at scale, you can also start looking at ways to decrease the cost and making sustainable aviation fuel a proper lever in abating carbon in the aviation industry, because it's going to take time, right, before we reach, for example, electrification of planes. Yeah? So these were two main examples I spoke about. Overall, I spoke about 7 examples. With regards to my impressions on the AUTOMA Congress, this is the first time I've been to a congress like this. I really appreciate that it's much more focused. Yeah, so you are bringing together, and congratulations to the organizing team to have brought together the right people in the industry who are focusing around solving similar problems. Because I think what I have experienced here is, with regards to the selection of topics and conversations, they are much more focused and meaningful.